Start.
Teacher.
Hello. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please, if you hear me, respond.
We hear you, we hear you.
Nice. Okay. I'm terribly sorry because I had a problem with the setting of my computer.
Teacher,
Yeah.
there are 2 lessons to the English, right?
Yeah, for social studies and for language arts.
But you put them all in the same time and the same day.
Really?
Yes,
Let me check first.
they're all 11:30.
This one is normally okay. Constitution. The other one is so it is not at 11:30. This one it is at 10:30. No, 10:45. Sorry.
Yes, 10:45.
But is it possible for you later on, when I start teaching the second course, will it be possible for you to log in? Or I need to change something?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's okay. But
No
I
problem.
mean, like, the people who are, they're waiting for 11:30. That's why there are only 5 people.
Oh, yeah, right.
Now
I
4.
forgot about that. I don't know. Let me change now if it is possible, and I hope that they join us. So let me put it. I think now they will receive a message because I've changed the time. So you remember last time what was our course of social studies? What was it about? What was the title of the course? Hello?
Yes, yes, teacher.
You remember the title of the course of last time? What was it? Huh?
We did Spanish. Yes, homophone, I think.
So lesson last time was constitution. We started, but we did not finish because we ran out of time. As we dealt with the last part of the previous lesson, then we started dealing with the new lesson, constitution. We stopped when we talked about the Medina Charter, I think, the Constitution of Medina.
Yes. I think we stopped there. We stopped.
We talked about the Charter of Medina, that constitution made by the Prophet Muhammad.
I don't think so. I don't think so, no.
Anyhow, so we're going to restart from the beginning because all what I remember is that we studied about what is a constitution, and we started. Where is Abdul Majid Kalantan and the others? So you told me because they didn't know about the time.
There are only 5 people, teacher.
Unfortunately, it was a
Mahmoud,
mistake.
Ahmed Al-Falih, and Yazid.
No problem. Okay.
I'll text them.
Okay, try to contact them if you can.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning. Kiridis, you hear me?
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, Hanaki. How are you?
Good.
Nice. Please, the one who is listening to music, can you turn it off, please? Mohammed Khalifa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, please, can we start, please? So last
Okay.
time we started talking about the constitution. You read the first part, then we ran out of time, so we need to repeat again to restart the course from the beginning so that it will be clear in your minds. I need someone to read the definition of a constitution first.
Me, teacher.
Me, teacher.
Teacher,
Hanaki?
this is in which page?
Teacher, me.
This is at page 133.
Teacher,
Yes, please.
I read.
Yes, please, Hanaki.
What is constitution? The set of laws that outline how a country should be governed and give details of the rights and responsibilities of government and citizens is usually called a constitution. The United States of America was the first country to have an official written constitution. The constitution of a country is generally the most important or supreme law of the country. That means that everyone, even the rulers, have to live in accordance with the principles it
outlines. Or it outlines. Okay, according to the definition here, how can you define or how can you explain the word constitution for someone who might ask you about what is a constitution? Huh?
Teacher, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. Good morning.
Good morning. But teacher, I have screen says connecting and I cannot see anything. It's black.
بيجي بس اصبر معي.
Wait for a while and it will appear.
Okay.
So I said, for those who have just come, so you can look at the screen and try to read the definition or the explanation and tell me how can you define the word constitution for someone who might ask you about the meaning of a constitution. What is a constitution? Yes, please. What have you understood from the word constitution? Huh?
The laws.
Excellent. These are the laws and the rules that govern a certain country, that shows to the people what are their rights and what are their duties. And of course, it is applied on every human being in that particular state. So even the ruler of the country has to abide to that set of rules. So this is a constitution. Of course, the constitution is always written, so there is always a hard copy from the constitution. So it is a written set of laws, like when you remember when we talked about Hammurabi's set of rules. Where did he put them? Where did he write them, Hammurabi? In the previous two lessons, we talked about that in the first lesson in chapter 4, in unit 4. Yes, please. Anyone? among you remembers the set of laws that are written by Hammurabi? And where did he place them?
I don't remember.
That was in our first lesson in Unit 4. Hanaki, do you have your book with you? Hanaki,
Me?
you have your book with you?
What reading book?
No, social studies book.
Yes.
Open it at page 117.
Okay. Yes, I opened it.
Yeah, you saw that picture of the two stones
Yes.
which are carved. Can you read what is the caption under it, please?
This stone pillar carved with Hammurabi's code of law is on display at the Louvre Museum in Paris.
In Paris. Of course, these dates back to the time when Hammurabi was ruling Iraq. At that time, of course, it was not called Iraq, it was called the Babylonian Empire. And during that period, Hammurabi carved a set of laws on a big stone and placed it in the center or in the city center so that no one find an excuse for himself when he does not apply the rules or the laws. So that was, at that time, that was like a constitution because it contained many clauses. The same thing nowadays, we have constitutions, but which are not carved on stones and placed in the city centers, but they are put in small books where you can find clauses of all the laws that are stated by that particular state. Go on to the second part, please, the Constitution of Medina. Someone to read?
Me teach.
Who is it?
Mohammed Khalifa.
Muhammad Khalifa, okay, Muhammad.
The Constitution of Medina. The Constitution of Medina
I cannot hear you anymore.
Medina or Medina Charter. You can't hear me?
Teacher,
Yes, please.
can I go to the back?
Can you hear me?
Sure, you can, but don't be late, please, so that you don't miss parts of the lesson.
Sure.
Teacher, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. The Constitution of Medina. The Constitution of Medina, also known as Wathiq al-Medina or the Medina Charter, was also a small constitution. It was drawn up by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He left Mecca and settled in Medina.
Excellent.
Before the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam drew up the Constitution of Medina, there was much fighting between the tribes of Medina, both between the different Muslim clans and between these clans and non-Muslim clans. The constitution was designed to govern the relations between these groups and bring them together as a single people. Effectively, the Medina Charter established the first Islamic state.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Muhammad. Hold on a minute. Okay, so the Medina Charter, or the Wathiqat al-Medina, so it is set exactly at what time, by whom, and for what purpose? I mean, what was the purpose of setting the Medina Charter? According to what you have read. Abdul Majid Kalantan has come. Hello? Muhammad Shawi.
Yes, teacher.
Welcome, Muhammad. I thought that you missed the class because there was a problem. I mean, there was a mistake that I made because I didn't write the right time. I wrote 11:30 and it was normally 10:45.
Okay.
So according to what Muhammad al-Khalifa has read now, so Wathiqat al-Medina or the Medina Charter, it was made by whom? When was that exactly? And what was its purpose?
Teacher, can I answer?
It was made by the Prophet Muhammad.
Excellent. Yeah.
And what is the other question?
When was that? When did he made that that wathiqa or that charter?
After he left Mecca and settled in Medina.
Excellent. After he left Mecca to settle in Medina. And for what purpose? Why did he do that?
To govern the relations between the fighting tribes in Medina and bring them together as a single unified ummah.
Excellent. Very good. So this is it. Gerzai,
Yes.
can you read that, the next part, please? Just hold on a minute until I...
I read the some of the terms.
Yep.
Some of the terms of the Medina's.
Wait a minute. Students are still coming to meet them. Okay. Yes, please.
Some of the terms
Hello?
of the. Yeah, here.
Hello, good morning. Excuse me?
What?
Yeah, I know.
اصبر
قاعد يكمل.
Wait for a while, please. Just hold on a minute. I will be back, okay?
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay, Gerzai,
Hello.
can you please restart reading that part that is written on the right?
Some of the terms of the Medina Charter include the establishment of
Establishment.
the establishment of
Not establishment.
establishment of
Good.
a secure community.
Teacher, which page?
Page 134.
Ensuring religious freedom for all groups that cooperated within the Ummah. The creation of a safe community where people would not be threatened with violence or weapons. A tax system. Protection for individuals within the Ummah. Kind and just treatment toward prisoner of war. Loyalty and cooperation between Muslims of different tribes and between Muslim and non-Muslims in the Ummah. Peaceful method resolving
Disputes. Another reading, please, for the same part.
Teacher, can I read?
Sure. Yeah?
And the same part.
Yeah.
Also known, which part, the right or the left?
The right one.
Some of the terms of the Medina Chart include the establishment of a secure community, raising religions, freedom for all groups that cooperated within the Ummah, the creation of a safe community where people would not be
Threatened.
threatened with violence weapons, attack system, protection individuals within the Ummah, kind and just treatment through pressures of the war, loyalty and cooperation between Muslims of different tribes and between Muslims and non-Muslims in the Ummah. Peaceful methods of resolving
disputes. Okay, someone to make that long story short, to sum up. So can you tell me about these points in a very concise and precise way? So what were the main clauses or the terms that charter included? Briefly. Summarize it briefly. Yes, please.
The main things like the community to be safe and all groups be freedom.
To be free to choose whatever religion they want. Yeah.
Yes,
and to live peacefully together.
Yes, and live peacefully and safe.
Excellent. To ensure prosperity.
Yes.
To ensure prosperity. And what else? There is something which is very important.
A protection for individual with the Ummah.
Yeah, the protection of the individuals within the Ummah from any kinds of threats, but at the same time to resolve the problems peacefully. Okay? Yes. Because this is normal that disputes occur even within a family. So the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, so he found a way how to solve the problems that may occur between tribes of Muslims or between tribes of Muslims and non-Muslims, and to solve them peacefully. Is it clear?
Yes. Yes, it's clear, teacher.
Good. Okay, so here we talked about the constitution of Medina that dates back to the days of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Now we have the other principles that outline the Western Constitution. By Western Constitution, we mean the constitutions of the European countries. So most of them, if not all of them, are almost the same. I'm not talking, of course, about the way the governments are set or their methods of election, but I'm talking about the set of laws that guarantee the freedom, protection, and also the prosperity of the individual in the European countries. Okay, someone to read. Where is Abdul Majid Kalantan?
Teacher, can I read?
Teacher, can I read? Raquel
Hidan. Raquel Hidan.
The Constitution generally outlines the system of government and defines the roles of legislature, executive, and judiciary, including any separation of powers. The Constitution outlines how these three branches of government relate to each other and to the citizens of the country. Many constitutions contain a guarantee of citizens' rights a clause which states that the country abides by the International Bill of Human Rights. Issues of national safety may also be detailed in a constitution. The constitution may give details of what is to happen to the constitution in the event of war or other state of emergency.
Another one to read the same part.
Me.
Yes, Abdul Majid.
Principles outlined in most Western constitutions. The Constitution generally outlines the system of government and defines the roles of legislature, executive, and judiciary. Including any separation of powers. The Constitution outlines how these three branches of government relate to each other and to the citizens of the country. Many constitutions contain a guarantee of citizens' rights, a clause which states that the country abides by the International Bill of Human Rights. Issues of national safety may also be detailed in a constitution. The Constitution may give details of what is to happen in the Constitution in the event of war or other state of emergency.
Great. So, the Western constitutions. So, what are the main principles that outline the Western Constitution? First, what does it state exactly?
What was the question again?
I said
it states that a human must have his right.
Yeah, that's right. So they ensured the rights of the human being according to the Bill of Rights or to the International Bill of Human Rights.
Depending on the country.
But within the country, what do they do exactly? What does the Constitution outline exactly? So you know that last time when we talked about the different systems and forms of government, we said that in different parts of the world, we have different forms of governments. So the Constitution, or it is necessary for any constitution for any particular country to state that in its clauses. So this must be mentioned in the Constitution. For example, in certain countries, like in France, the first clause states that France is a republic. Okay, so the form of the government or the system of governing in that particular country must be stated. It is necessary to be stated in the first clause of the Constitution. Also, the Constitution outlines how that government must work, or what are the different compartmentalization of that particular government. So it states that, for example, it has 3 parts or 3 compartments. One of them is the legislature, the other one is the executive. So of course, when we talk about the legislature, we talk about the parliament, because it is that place where laws are issued. Then they must be signed and executed, not executed, so executed means to be applied by the president. He must sign the proposed laws in the parliament must be signed by the president, and the president and the ministers, of course. These are the ones who represent the executive compartment of the government. And the third part, which is the judiciary system, this is all what is related to government, to courts and to judges. Is it clear?
Yes.
Nice. it says that the Constitution outlines how these three branches of government relate to each other and to the citizens of the country. Of course, the Constitution shows clearly all the duties and the rights and the responsibilities for these three different compartmentalization of the government. So each one of them is responsible for certain points. So the Constitution makes that clear so that no one usurps his power or his authority. No one transgresses the law. The third point, it says many constitutions contain a guarantee of citizens' rights. So this is what we talked about, according to the International Bill of Human Rights. And also the Constitution issues of national safety may also be detailed in the Constitution. It means that the Constitution shows clearly parameters that must be taken in order to ensure the safety of the country in times of war, in states of great emergency, etc. However, the Constitution is not, a sacred book. It can be changed at certain times according to the needs of the country and to the needs of the people and to the needs of the government. Certain clauses may be changed according to those needs in order to meet them. Okay? Hello?
Okay.
If there is something that is not clear, please don't hesitate to ask me, okay?
No, it's okay.
So, when we change a certain part or a certain clause of the Constitution according to the needs of the government and the needs of that state, so this is called amendments to a Constitution. Amendment, it means to change something for the sake of something else. To change, for example, a law that you see that it is old-fashioned or does not go well with the present day changes. Someone to read about amendments to a Constitution, please.
Me, teacher, can I read?
Can I read?
Hamza, can you?
Clinton.
Yeah, Mohammed Atif.
Teacher, before they read, I have a question.
And
Wait a minute, Mohammed. Naif, what do you want? What's your question?
Now, today we have 2 periods, right?
Yep.
So how could we finish this period while the other one will start on 11:30?
Yeah, we are going to finish this at 11:30. Then we will start another one at 11:30 until 12:15.
Okay.
There is 6 minutes left.
Yep.
there, teacher.
Yes, please.
The Constitution generally outlines the system of government and defines the roles of the legislature.
Legislature. Repeat again.
Legislature.
So you said in most countries the constitution can be amended or are you reading that part which is written in orange or in brown?
On white. I'm reading.
No. I want you to read amendments to a constitution.
Okay. In most countries, constitutions can only be amended, changed through referendum in which the citizens all vote yes or no to the proposed amendment.
The proposed amendment.
If the majority people and the majority of province vote in favor of the amendment, then it may be passed into law.
Excellent. So how is the process of changing clause in the Constitution go? So what is the process of changing a clause in the Constitution? Normally, those who are responsible for the Constitution or for changing laws, etc., is the legislature, executive, and judiciary departments of the government. But do they do that alone? Mohammed Shawi, where are you? Abdul Majid.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, so I said, yeah, they are talking about the amendments that may occur to a constitution. We said that sometimes they change certain laws according to the needs of the country. But does the government do that alone? I mean, without referring back to anyone else?
No, the citizens must vote, yes or
Excellent.
no.
So what do we call this when they call the citizens to vote for by saying yes or no? What do we call this this act or this?
Proposed amendment.
The amendment is the change, but when people vote all together to say yes or no for a certain amendment, means for a certain change, this is called a referendum. Who knows referendum in Arabic? What does it mean in Arabic? Referendum. We call it istifta. You know the word?
No.
Istifta, it means they ask the people, what do they think about a certain issue? So, of course, if the majority of people and the majority of provinces, for example, Riyadh, Hail, Abha, Mecca, Al-Madinah, Jeddah, etc., the majority of them vote in favor for that amendment, then the law is passed. If it is not, or if it is not agreed upon by the majority, it is not considered as a law, and it is vetoed. It means that it is nullified. The Constitution of Saudi Arabia. What do you think about the Constitution of Saudi Arabia? Who knows what is the Constitution of Saudi Arabia? Huh? Who knows the Constitution of Saudi Arabia? Who has ever seen the Constitution of Saudi Arabia? Al-Quran, and what else?
Sunnah.
Al-Quran wa Sunnah. Very good, Mahmoud. Al-Quran wa Sunnah. Mahmoud. Mahmoud.
Yes, teacher.
Are you there?
Yes.
Can you read that part, please, before we finish?
Very good. Very good. Online or I live with you?
No, the one that is written on the left, because we didn't read it.
Okay. The Constitution, the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. This means that government in Saudi Arabia derives its authority from the Quran and the Sunnah, and together the Holy Book and the Sunnah are the ultimate of reference for laws and
Teacher,
any other decisions that affect the country in line with the teachings of Islam. The government is based
On justice,
on justice, shura, and equality according to Islamic
Sharia. Okay, so this is what the Prophet Muhammad said to all Muslims. So I leave with you two things. As long as you hold them tightly, you will never go astray. They are the book of Allah, Al-Quran, and my Sunnah. Okay, now we are done with the course Constitution. So there is another part at page 137. I will add it to the PowerPoint presentation, and you will find the whole course uploaded in Classera later on. Okay?
Thank you.
Welcome. You are going to find another part that is called the basic law of governance, which is called Nizam here in Saudi Arabia. So I'm going to add it to the slide shares and then upload it. Now we are going to move on to the next period, which is about the Nobel Prize, about literature. So see you after a while, okay?
Goodbye.
Well, bye-bye.